Old, well, not old, middle-aged and old weathered deck systems with rotten boards and peeling deck paint. I've made a career, I've made a life, I've made a living out of bringing these structures back. Severely dilapidated, peeling deck paint, rotten boards, rotten joists, rotten band boards, all that stuff, right? So look at this beautiful two-tone deck system that we just finished. We traveled down here from northern Kentucky to Georgetown, central Kentucky. Traveled from Cincinnati to Georgetown to do this deck system, and let me tell you, the Kong armor, the thick build, the ultra tough, the lifetime deck armor, right? It's so absurdly special at bringing back these weathered structures and bringing back the encapsulation, the lockdown, right? The power of it, us to come in and use it to lock down and encapsulate these decks with peeling deck paint, right? This thing was horrid. I mean, absolutely horrid. It had peeling deck paint everywhere, rotten boards, right? But we brought the thick build, the industrial grade Kong armor in here. After we washed this up and got all the rotten boards out of here, and we went to resurfacing on this, manually pressing into the cracks and manually using that industrial high stretch film to fill over nail and screw entry points. I don't know if you guys can see them, all filled over on this deck system. You won't find one that's open, right? Every crack in the floor, every hairline in the floor, every imperfection, every void, the industrial grade Kong armor has taken out of here. It's locked down and encapsulated the peeling deck paint. It's all resurfaced, what we call encapsulated. Gosh, this is gorgeous. This color is called Slab City Wood, and the rails are black, right? And I think we're going to name this two-color combination Sonora, because it's something that people keep seeing and they keep wanting this combination, right? Wow, just gorgeous. But look at the thick build encapsulation power of Kong. It almost turns these wood rail systems a composite look, right? Locks down all the splinters, all the frayed wood, splinter lock technology, all that good stuff. And then, you know, the power here is that Kong is so thick, 30 to 50 times thicker than the thin residential deck paints and stains that you guys are using, that the rays cannot penetrate all the way through it to get down to the wood and cause adhesion problems. If you guys didn't know, that's what you guys got going on with your thin residential deck paints and stains. The UV rays go right through them and penetrate into the wood below, and it obliterates adhesion. But Kong, we've made it such a thick build film, and we've put so many UV blockers in it that they have a hard time doing that on a mass scale, right? Can't promise you that one won't get through or something, but for the large and most part, we're blocking 90-95% of them, which is tremendous. True water lock here. Like I showed you, all the fasteners are covered over, so water cannot get to the nails and the screws. They're all covered over. Look, not from the top via precipitation anyways. What's that do? It stops what we call the rust to rot cycle. It stops water from penetrating into those little, what we call nail and screw entry holes, and it stops the screws and the nails from taking on rust, right? If we can stop that, we can stop the boards from reacting and the subsequent board rot that you get, right? Whew. UV block, we talked about that. Kong is filled with thousands of little tiny microscopic mirror-like particles in its film that deflect rays back up into the atmosphere, way up in there where they belong, right? Whew. Lockdown encapsulation, how beautiful. Just gorgeous. Now, here's what's important. Kong is locally backed in Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky, Southeast Indiana. Lifetime limited warranty, lifetime service promise. So not only were we able to save them from replacement, keep them from tearing up their floor, it would have been their rails too. They would have had to replace their rails too. All of it had peeling deck paint so bad that nobody would have wanted to sand it, peel it, or mess with it. They all would have just said, hey, let's tear it out here and replace it. So not only were we able to save them that money, but we're also going to stay with them with lifetime limited and the only locally backed lifetime service promise for a deck coating anywhere in the world that I'm aware of. This coating system comes with professional cleaning, service, maintenance, life of ownership. We'll come out once a year, clean for you, do spot touch-ups if needed. That's how tough Kong is. It's going to hang in there with you, right? Band boards on this deck system, rotten. How powerful is it to have a deck resurfacing company that also does restoration at the same exact time? You know, back at our warehouse, we have pressure treated, air dried, ready to coat southern pine that's been curing for 3 to 6 months, all of it. So all the moisture has come out of it, it's ready to coat. So we can come in and do things like replace rotten band boards. This one was bad. It had one here, and then one over on the back side over there. You come in and do all the restoration that you need, get everything fixed up, and then do the encapsulation all in one shot. You can have your deck finished right then and there. No waiting 3 to 6 months, all that stuff. Get out of here with that. We know you want it now. We're going to deliver it now. We've adjusted so that you can get it now, right? Which is what you want. Tell you what, if you have a deck system with peeling deck paint, rotten boards, any of this type of stuff, and you need help, you want it to brought back to life, you want the world's toughest protection for your deck, the thickest, toughest, absurdly just ungodly protection that you can get for your deck system, and you want it right now, KongArmor.com. Go there now. If you want two-tone, we'll get you two-tone like this. Like I said, we're going to name this combination Sonora. If you want a one-color system, we'll get you a one-color system. In my opinion, they're just as beautiful, but you have to go to KongArmor.com. Press the get top of the page. Right there at the top of the page, press get free quote. Will save your deck system. You don't need composite. You don't need floor replacement. You don't need rail replacement if you have peeling deck paint and a few rotten members. Listen, we come in, crew style repair. We fix these up and under. It doesn't matter how badly rotten these decks are, typically. Even the very first one, even the very worst ones, I can put our deck rescue painters here. Boom, we have them fully restored in under half a day. Crew style repair, right? Rip joist out, rip band boards out, replace all those members. Boom, right? You don't need replacement. You don't need composite. You don't need none of that stuff. Get to KongArmor.com. We'll save your deck. Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky, Southeast Indiana. Any of those areas, Georgetown. We'll come down to Georgetown and help you too, right? See ya.